And hello, movie fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan. Once again, bringing you some sad news today of the in the world of the movie world. We've lost another great actor, and today we've lost Tim Curry, who is pretty much in everybody's childhood voice actor himself. From whatever you could think of, he's done it all. A lot of us grew up listening to his iconic voice or being scared of him in as Pennywise the Dancing Clown from the It TV miniseries before it became a movie. So, Tim Curry to me was always one of my favorite actors growing up. And, even before I even knew who he was as an actor and then finding out his name, I will always remember where I found out where he was from and then listening to his voice and seeing his movies. He was just larger than life actor, and he's going to be sadly missed. So I figure I'd come on here, talk about my favorite Tim Curry movies. I have 10 of them. And also, we're going to pay our respects as well to Dolly Parton as well. She passed away yesterday, which is also crazy because they both passed away at the age of 80. She's iconic as well. Her country music is just as beautiful as it's always been. She's been in movies as well, TV as well. I will always remember her from Hannah Montana. I think in real life, I could be wrong about this, but isn't she Miley Cyrus's godmother? I could be wrong about that, but either way, she was a beautiful woman, and she will also be really missed as well. I'm not too familiar with her music career, but seeing her in television stuff, I know the face. I know the voice. So, again, let's have a moment of silence before I actually begin this video. Thank you. So, for further ado, let me give you my top 10 best films of Tim Curry. The ones that true to me in my heart that will keep locked up forever, because these 10 films and TV shows are like stuck for me forever. So at number 10, I'm going with probably a role that even I didn't know that he was in, because the credits said it was somebody else, and then he popped up as the character at one point, and he just became the character as time went on. And that's Chancellor Palpatine, aka the Emperor, in Clone Wars, the cartoon. Now, his voice as the Emperor was so creepy, and I thought watching him, and then I remember one time hearing his iconic voice, and I'm like, wait, that's Tim Curry? I had no idea that he was the Emperor at one point. Go figure. But he was always great just being the Emperor. Because, seeing the Star Wars movies before the prequels, knowing who the Emperor was, before we knew who he was, before he became the Emperor, he was Palpatine. We meet Palpatine in the prequel movies. And, we weren't really sure if he was a villain or not, how could we trust him? Should Anakin trust him? But then when you watch the cartoon, it's like, oh, no, you can clearly tell he's manipulative, evil, psychotic in his own way. There's an episode here where he fights Darth Maul when Darth Maul comes back, and he has his apprentice, Vaj apprentice, and OMG, when you see Darth Sidious just grab those his two lightsabers, and starts beating the bananas out of both of them, while Darth Maul was carrying the Darksaber, showing them who's boss. Oh, poetry in motion. That was just like amazing to see. And then telling Darth Maul, don't worry, I will not kill you. I have other arrangements for you. And just showing the fear and seeing the fear in Darth Maul's eyes when he hears the Emperor talk. And it's like, whew, chills. Now, I do love the actor who plays him in live action, Ian, I forgot his last name, I apologize. But Tim Curry to me as Emperor Palpatine was freaking creepy. So, at number 9, I have Home Alone 2. Yes, I know. Our very favorite concierge, he's all, at first, when you first meet him, you're like, you're not really sure about him. But yet, when he first meets Kevin, he's like, I don't trust this lad. I'm going to keep my eyes on him. And then when he just starts bothering him, also buttering him up, trying to figure out what's his angle, you kind of just feel like, yo, this guy's sleazy. Somebody should report him to his boss and get him fired. But every time you watch Home Alone 2, and by the way, Home Alone 2, in my opinion, is better than 1. I'm sorry. I love one. Don't shoot me, but I just think two is way better. But anyway, just seeing him, it's just like I want to walk to the Plaza Hotel and see if Tim Curry will always be there. I growing up with this movie. I'm like, is he actually? Does he? I actually thought he actually worked there as a kid, thinking that was his job for real. So that concierge man, buttering up Kevin and then going to his apartment at night and Kevin outwitting him. It was so much comedy gold, and Tim Curry played that beautifully, and I've always loved that. Another movie that we've seen, generations have seen this movie, plays, versions of it, doesn't really matter. It's Annie. I mean, what can you say about little orphan Annie? We all love her. There are versions of Annie even I do not like, but the original Annie with Tim Curry as the sleazy kind of lawyer dude who you could just clearly tell this guy's a sleazeball. He's gonna do things and get what he wants, and him and Miss Hattie hanging out, and Easy Street, that song comes on. It's like, oh, it was great. First of all, I didn't even know he could sing at that point, and I was just like, huh. I mean, as a kid growing up, I didn't really put mind to it. I didn't even know that was really him, because I didn't know he was, as a kid, I wasn't paying attention to actors' names at the time, but as a kid, I just thought this guy was creepy. He had the mustache. All he cared about was money, making money, being on the top of everybody. He was just a very sleazy guy in that movie, and Tim Curry plays it very well. Tim just, I don't know why, but every time he plays a villain, it just put a smile on my face every single time. And by the way, fun fact, he almost played the Joker in the animated series. Batman the Animated Series, but I guess he didn't thought it fit for him, and that's how Mark Hamill got it. There's an actual audio version of one episode of Joker with his voice. Go watch that if you ever get a chance. It's actually kind of cool, and his voice was really creepy for the Joker at the time. So yeah, so that's cool. At number 7, a character, we've played the board game so many times. It's Clue, and when you see Tim Curry, it's like, oh yeah, he did it. You can just clearly tell. Because again, Tim Curry loves playing villains, and he always made playing the villain, like, you could clearly tell he's the villain. Even when he's trying to be cool and calculated in a cool, non-evil way, you can clearly tell, oh yeah, he's going to be the bad guy at the end of this movie. And I love Clue. By the way, that's a great movie. If you've not seen Clue, go watch it. The Butler did it, or the guy with the Colonel did it. Great game, by the way. The game always changes. So that was great. At number 6 is a show that I'm pretty sure nobody's seen besides myself, because I was a big, Power Ranger guy back then, superhero dude at the time, and that's Superhuman Samurai Squad. You must be like, wait, what? What the heck is that? Exactly my point. You have 4 friends. They ended up going into a digital world where the cyber, criminal or bad guy, played by Tim Curry, named Kilocon. He makes cyber tech monsters to basically attack the internet. And Sam and his friends join together. They have these Megazords. They combine and they become Serbo, and they fight him on a weekly basis. And Tim Curry playing the voice of the computer virus bad guy was just cool. Okay, he looked at like Hades from Hercules mixed with a little bit of who else? Like Phantom of the Opera. He was just cool, cloaked, everything, little purple. It was just very cool, and his voice was just. It was like, wow, Tim Curry's doing this kind of a thing. That's something. And it was a cool that wasn't even a cartoon. It was more of a live action kind of a Power Ranger rip-off show, but it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it. So there's that. So that's number 6. And number 5 is a movie I'm pretty sure everybody has seen at least once in their life, and that's Rocky Horror Picture Show. I remember watching this movie. Tell you the truth, I had no idea he was playing a woman. Honestly, his character was just so out there. And just like, wow, seeing drag for the first time in my life. And this is before, I knew about the LGBTQ community, with Birdcage and all that other stuff. And Tootsie and all those movies. I think I saw Rocky Horror Picture Show first before I saw those other movies. And like understanding what the whole drag community was. And as a kid, not knowing what that was, I was like, okay, I had no idea that was a man. So I was like, oh, well, okay, that's funny. I guess I had no idea that was a thing back then, but and still today, obviously. And that performance spiked so much. You know, I'm pretty sure there'll be people out there be like controversy today for it if it happened today, but the way he did it was just so non-disrespectful. It was just the way it was just a beautiful art coming to life, and he just did it really well. He dressed in the drag, he had the hair, the look, the movements, the music. Again, I had no idea he could sing, and his singing was amazing. So I thought all that was fantastic. And that's a good movie too, so I highly recommend checking it out. Let's see. At number 4, I have probably one of the creepiest horror movies or horror shows slash, miniseries you're ever gonna watch, and that's Pennywise the Dancing Clown. The miniseries. When I first saw that, I was so scared. I just like, okay, you know what? As a kid, clowns ain't my thing. As an adult, yeah. Do I prefer is it Bill Skarsgård who plays him now? Yeah, sure. But if Tim didn't play that character first, I don't think the It movies will work as well as it does, because I think there was something creepy about, first of all, miniseries at the time, back in those days, weren't exactly like, yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. It could be creepy. And that thing was creepy. Like, really creepy. And I remember watching, I'm like, wow. I was a kid, first of all, so I was getting nightmares beyond compare. And as I got older, realizing that the actress from Superman 3, who played Lana Lang, was Annette O'Toole, another great actor in her right. I had no idea who ended up going playing Martha Kent in Smallville. She was great in that. The whole cast of the Losers Club and all that, and all those characters, and just him having a blast playing that character. The way he would just smile and just stare at you as that clown was just like, yeah, that's the stuff nightmares are made of. So yeah, there's that. So that's number 4. At number 3, a movie that's really close to me. That's always been my favorite. Beauty and the Beast Enchanted Christmas, as he plays Forte. Now, in Beauty and the Beast, there's like it's not a really, how can I put this? Beauty and the Beast Enchanted Christmas is a direct sequel, but technically it takes place during the events of the first one during Christmas time. But we don't really see it until we see the second movie. And Forte is this big organ piano thing. I think it's an organ. I believe he's an organ. As a kid, and I knew who he was. He had a face. He was a big organ thing. And he always manipulated the Beast and everything. Oh, Belle wants to change the color of the house. Don't let her do it, sire. Don't let her tell you what to do in your own house. He was so manipulative in this movie. It was crazy. There's even a song that he has in this movie called Don't Fall in Love. And great. He was just manipulating the Beast of all people. While everybody else is like, sire, you have to be nice. You got to fall in love. You got to break the spell. He is like, the hell with that. Let's just be who we are. This is what we are now. You're cool like this. I like being this organ, and, that's what he was. And that's, and Tim did it brilliantly in the fight scene at the end with him fighting the Beast, and then the Beast, spoiler alert, breaking the piano was just freaking great. It was, I love that movie. So yeah, so that's number 3. Now it comes down to number 1 and number 2. Number 2 to me is a movie where I fell in love with pirates, and having my favorite Muppets be a part of it, it just adds to the flavor. And that's Muppet Treasure Island. Muppet Treasure Island is probably the greatest Muppet movie ever. I know there are people who love Muppets in Space, and I love that too. Muppets Take My Hand, sure. But Muppet Treasure Island is the greatest pirate movie and the greatest Muppet movie, okay? To me personally, because first of all, you get Kermit the Frog playing a pirate, okay? Thought that was great. You have Miss Piggy being awesome, who we all know, we all love, and we all had crushes on at the time. And then, of course, you have Tim Curry, playing Long John Silver. He had a freaking lobster as his parrot, and it just was so cool. It was so cool. You could clearly tell he was going to be the bad guy. From as soon as he comes on screen, it's like, oh yeah, he's definitely the bad guy. But he was just cool. The way he plays it off was just smooth, cool. He wasn't acting like he was going to be the bad guy. Because, you take your guesses. But, yeah, pirates are sleazy people. And that's how they were back then. You know, they weren't just like, I'm gonna take the treasure from you or be the new captain or whatever. No, he played it off cool. He had one leg. He was the cook, and he just bided his time. And when the time came, he conquered. And it just was so cool seeing Tim Curry just do what he did. And again, another musical number in here, and it was fire. Yo ho ho, about a rum. Everything about that movie just screams awesome. And but I think without that movie, Pirates of the Caribbean does not work, in my opinion. And that's a character I've always wanted to see in Pirates of the Caribbean, Long John Silver. I think he's one of the most iconic pirates, because Treasure Island is an iconic book. I think I read that book once as a kid. But still, he did a great job with that character. Always looking for that movie. Always. So, that leads me to my number one favorite role of his. And if you haven't guessed it by now, you should. And that's the Wild Thornberrys, Mr. Nigel Thornberry himself. Sir Nigel Thornberry, because he gets knighted at the end. Oh, every time. Wild Thornberrys is such a great show. First of all, it talks about, gives us the whole knowledge of different countries. The family goes to different countries. It's because, he does nature documentaries. His wife films it. He narrates it, obviously. He got his teenage daughter. And his youngest daughter, Eliza, she talks to animals. And you figure, yeah, it's all about the daughter. We all see her adventure. But every time Tim was on screen as Nigel, you just don't, you want to pay attention. Whenever he's talking about an animal or a plant or just giving world fatherly advice to his daughters, it was just awesome to see it. Growing up, that was my nature channel. Literally, you guys remember back in the days how flip on a channel, I think Discovery or whatever it was, had the nature channel, and today we'll watch the animals leap as the gazelles leap. The tigers look at them. It was just kind of boring, educational, sure. But when Nigel did it, oh, it was great. And even his antics as, being a kind of a clumsy person, it was just so cool. Every time he was, and first of all, the van was awesome. That mobile home of theirs, it was great. His love for animals and how he respected that, how they found Johnny, all that stuff was amazing. And to me, I would come home, watch Wild Thornberrys on Nickelodeon, and just yes, this is my nature channel right here. Watching the Wild Thornberrys, because every episode was very different. Every episode was a new adventure. So it was just great. And, learning the cultures that they'll go to, learning about the different animals, it just was so fun, And I don't think that show works without him. He made us believe that, being in nature, seeing all these animals, seeing the world like that was just awesome. And that's what it was. And I love seeing every moment, every episode I watched. I just want to see more. And I have the DVD set to one of my friends who gave it to me. And, honestly, today I kind of wish to kind of bring it back, but they can't now because he's no longer with us. He literally just lost him today. And, even when he had his stroke, I think about 2012, 2013, he was still a fighter. He was still doing voice work after he had to gain his speech back, and then he got it back, and he was still doing voice work. And, he was just an incredible actor. And I'm pretty sure he was an incredible person in real life as well. So I just wanted to come out here and say thank you to him. Thank you for all the memories. I will never forget them. I will always treasure each of these performances forever. In here, all eternity. I love you, Tim. You were the best, and you deserve your rest now. So thank you so much for everything you have given me in my childhood, and gonna miss you. So there you go, guys. There's my little contribution to Tim Curry. What is your favorite Tim Curry performance? Is there anything I list off? Anything I forgot? Is there a specific moment of him? Maybe you met him in real life and you got an autograph or something. That'd be kind of cool. Whatever it is, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you thought. And also, R.I.P. to Dolly Parton as well, because we just lost her yesterday. So, yeah, she'll be missed as well. The country world lost another great star. And she will always be remembered as well as being one of the best. So leave me a comment below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more. Thank you very much, and have a good day.